What's up, guys? UFC 321, Aspinall versus Gane and John D. Roba versus Mackenzie Dern is this weekend. I'm here to bring you every single fight pick that I have based on these fights, and I will be breaking down every single fight from the early prelims all the way up to the main card. But before I get into that, since this is a pay-per-view, this is very important for you guys. If you'd like to make some free money just off of watching my YouTube channel and making fight picks, join Tapology.com. Then go to tapology.com/groups/2048. There you can join my group, make your fight picks, and on each pay-per-view, I give out $100 to the winner of my Pick'ems group. So last week, had it been a pay-per-view, MMA Joey 69 would have won. When the last pay-per-view was UFC 320, Big Stan did win the $100. All you have to do is put your CashApp information in this area down here, winner of the week or winner of pay-per-view cash prize, and I will send it to you as soon as I confirm that you're the winner. Anyways, moving on to the fight picks, we're going to start with the early prelims. We get right into a fight, if you will. It'll be Jacqueline Amorim. Does she win? Does this girl lose by sub? She didn't lose to sub to Verna Jandiroba, so I'm going to say she's going to lose by decision. Moving on to the first real fight of the evening, and when I say real fight, men's flyweight. Might not be a real fight. We've got Azat Maxim versus Mitch Raposo. Mitch Raposo has done absolutely nothing in the UFC, whereas Azat Maxim has had a decent fight with Charles Johnson and had a very close fight with Tagir Ulanbekov. I will be picking Azat Maxim by unanimous decision, maybe even submission. Maybe submission. But I'm going to go with decision, play it a little safe. Flyweight fight. They're not the best finishers in the world. Oh, do I already jump with my underdog? Do I already do it? We move to the heavyweight division. You see this thing? It's like those things up in that corner. These two men are blobs. We've got an old-fashioned blob off, and I am so here for it. Chris Barnett, a natural heavyweight at 5'8". Hamdi Abdelwahab, 6'2" heavyweight. So gonna be a little bit of a size discrepancy here. Shorter with the longer reach. You know, you guys may clown it, and I may clown it after I do it, but I'm picking Chris Barnett because, for one, heavyweight MMA is just not great, and you never know who's gonna win, honestly. So I'm just going to go with Chris Barnett because he's the underdog here. Hamdi Abdelwahab has decent wrestling, but, you know, Chris Barnett had a grappling match with Yoel Romero, and you saw how he did against in the ropes, if you will. Bouncing off the ropes. He almost took out Yoel with a titty. His breast almost took Yoel's chin from him during a wrestling match, or a grappling match. I've got Chris Barnett by round 2 KO. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Hamdi Abdelwahab, to be fair, is not the best striker, and Chris Barnett has weird and crazy striking, and he can fluke out a knockout. And he can honestly set one up, to be fair. Moving on to the featherweight division, we've got Jose Delgado versus Nathaniel Wood. Nathaniel Wood has been putting in a lot of work recently. I've been watching so much of their YouTube series that they've been putting out, their teams' professional sparring sessions and stuff like that. I've been watching a lot of it. Nathaniel Wood looks so good in these sparring sessions, man, but I worry about the massive, massive size of Jose Delgado. I actually think he's going to catch Nathaniel Wood a lot of straight shots up the middle, teeps, knees, long jabs, long straights. Now, Nathaniel Wood is a good boxer and likes to slip off and counter, so be watching for a lot of that. But I do think and fear that Jose Delgado is going to land a clean knee up the middle on Nathaniel Wood and put him to sleep. Although Nathaniel Wood is a great fighter, do not be surprised if he ends up winning this fight. But this is one of the types of fights it feels like Nathaniel Wood just doesn't win. He is a smaller featherweight, and Jose Delgado is on the massive side of featherweight. Moving on to the heavyweight division again. We have a semi-blob off. One of these guys is a blob and the other is not. And it's Louis Sutherland. He's the blob. We're going to be going with Walter Walker by submission. We're going to hope that he gets top position for this submission, too, because Louis Sutherland does look like he has some pretty solid ground and pound. But we're going to be picking Walter Walker by round 1 submission. We think he gets the fight down to the ground and ends up submitting Louis Sutherland. Moving on to the lightweight division, we've got two guys who both lost their UFC debut, but Camilo coming from Zombie Fight League. This is a close fight, man. Like, Camilo had his moments against Gabe Green. That's the thing. But I'm going to pick Kareem Abdul Al-Sawadi. Abdul Kareem Al-Sawadi by decision. I think he gets the job done just by grappling, but I could see Mateus Camilo winning. Typically in situations like this with two debutees, I go with who just really has the better like kill death record on their on their fight record. Whoever has the best KD, they get the win in this situation. Anyways, moving on, we stay in the lightweight division. We've got a banger between Mateus Rebecki and Ludovic Klein. Ludovic Klein being the massive favorite here, loses to Mateus Gamrot in his last fight and just beats everybody else that he should be beating. This is a tough fight for him, man. Mateus Rebecki is really good at that whole, like, be forward, be aggressive, eat shots on the face, and just take damage. I don't know how much more damage he can genuinely take. This man has been beaten up so much. I could see Klein either getting a KO or a decision victory. I don't want to pick KO just because of how much damage Rebecki's been taking, and Klein does not have the best tendency to finish people. So I'm going to be picking decision, although I do think KO is pretty live just because of the amount of damage he's taken. But like I said, I don't love taking fighters to be knocked out just because they've taken a lot of damage against a guy who's not really a finisher. Moving on to the middleweight division, we have Ikram Aliskerov versus Jung Young Park. I'm actually going to be taking Aliskerov by round 1 KO. I think that Aliskerov's power is something to actually like be fearful of. Maybe round 2 would be more realistic, but I genuinely think Aliskerov just has the better power of the two. He's more technical. You're not going to take him down if you're Jung Young Park. And I think being on the feet with Ikram Aliskerov being Jung Young Park is not a good thing. He has the longer reach of the two. He's taller. He has the better record. I'm going with Aliskerov here, and I think he's going to get it done by finish. So if you're parlaying some bets out, I would throw finish on there. Moving back down to the lightweight division, we've got Quillan Salkild versus Nazarat Hakparast. These odds are crazy, people. Nasrat Haqparast is a really, really good fighter. This dude beat Jared Gordon. Although you could have called that a robbery. He beat Jared Gordon and Esteban Ribovics. These are two dudes that I rate so highly in the lightweight division. Jared Gordon only lost his most recent fight because he'd been hit by a fucking car before going to go fight. A day before going to go fight. It would have been great to know that going in. Would have been great, but we didn't. I have Nasrat Haqparast just being able to point his way to a victory in this fight. I think Quillan Salkild is very dangerous. He could end up KOing Nasrat. But I do just think the level of competition that Haqparast is and the skill level Salkild is right now, I think this in even in a year from now, Quillan Salkild may win this fight. But right now, I think it's too much too soon. I've got Haqparast by decision. I think the grappling and the striking are just going to be a little too much. Moving to the light heavyweight division and the main card, we've got a great fight here. We have Azamat Murzakanov versus Alexander Rakic. Rakic being on a 3-fight losing streak. Azamat Murzakanov being on a how many fight win streak? Over 5 minimum. Or 5 minimum. Maybe more. I can't quite remember. Oh, no, he's undefeated. That would have helped if I just looked. He's on a 15-fight win streak. He has great striking. He's very good at catching people when they're throwing. I think Rakic is too big. Rakic is way too big for that whole situation. I think Rakic is going to end up catching him with a head kick or a big knee up the middle, something big in round number 2 that's going to KO Azamat Murzakanov. I could see it being a decision. Don't get me wrong. But I just feel like Rakic is going to get this done by finish, even though he's not really a finisher. A lot of Tapology's picking against Rakic. Kind of crazy. Murzakanov is a very, very good fighter, but he is the older of the two, and Rakic is massive for light heavyweight. Like, he is the biggest light heavyweight in the division outside of Pereira, and I think that's going to be big problems for Murzakanov, who, although is a very, very skilled fighter, will have some problems with the massiveness of Rakic. Moving on to the heavyweight division, we have an exciting fight between Jailton Almeida and Alexander Volkov. Volkov being the underdog here. And I think I'm going to actually go... I can see Volkov getting the finish here. He was able to beat Pavlovich. He was able to beat Tai Tuivasa. The Tai Tuivasa thing's not so impressive, obviously. Romanov, pretty impressive. And Rosenstruck, pretty impressive. This is actually a very tough fight to call. I think, obviously, Jailton Almeida can get this done by decision. Jailton Almeida can get this done by submission. Volkov can get this done by KO or decision. Volkov has to stay off of his back, and I do see the improvements of Jailton were very impressive in the Sergey Spivak fight. His hands looked very impressive. I actually think he's going to get better takedown attempts. I do think he gets the sub in round number 1, if not round number 2. I would stay away from this fight unless you're just looking to sprinkle it in here and there. This is not an easy fight to call, in my opinion. I mean, there's two ways it goes. Either Jailton gets him down to the ground and submits him. Either Jailton gets him down and submits him or decisions him, or Volkov can keep this on the feet and he KOs or decisions Jailton. So I'm going to be picking the safer of the two options, I think. in the grappler who can strike, but who knows. Moving on to the bantamweight division, still on the main card, we've got Umar Nurmagomedov versus Mario Batista. I think people have been overthinking this one pretty heavily outside of, the guys who've been making big picks, like the big YouTubers, MMA Guru and guys like that. The people who are picking Batista, I think they're thinking a little too hard on this. You have to look at how tough of a fight that he was able to give Merab. Sure, it was 9 months ago. It was a long time ago. I have Merab. He's everywhere. Get him out of my brain. Brother, I think that Umar Nurmagomedov gonna win by unanimous decision. He gonna be too much for the Mario, you know. He not gonna have his mushroom so can get big. Moving on to Verna Jandiroba versus Mackenzie Dern. This is a women's title fight. And I guess we've got Jandiroba winning by decision. Moving on to the main event of the evening, the most anticipated fight of not this year, of this card, I guess. Maybe not even this card. We've got Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane. Where has all the cereal gone? I am picking big Tom Aspinall by round 1. He just doesn't look for submissions much unless he's looking to take you down specifically. So I'm going to be picking KO by Tom Aspinall for round number 1. Let's go back over my picks real quick, and maybe I can give out a little parlay at the very end. But I've got Tom Aspinall by round 1 KO, Jandiroba by decision, Nurmagomedov by decision, Jailton Almeida by sub round 1, Rakic by KO round 2, Haqparast by decision, Aliskerov by KO, Klein by decision, Al-Sawadi by decision, Walter Walker by sub, Delgado by KO round 1, Chris Barnett by KO round 2, Azat Maxim by decision, and Jacqueline Amorum by decision. These are my picks. You can follow them if you guys want to. A good little parlay to put together, probably Azat Maxim to win, Walter Walker for sub. You could sprinkle Ludovic Klein, Ikram Aliskerov. Nasrat Haqparast is a must at near even with Quillen Salkilled. That is a must on your parlay. Or just a straight bet in general. I think Rakic should dominate this fight. So I would throw him on. He's on mine. Umar Nurmagomedov is on mine. I'm staying clear of that. And then Tom Aspinall is on mine as well. By finish. Those were my picks for UFC 321. If you guys want to make $100, please join my Tapology. Make your fight picks. Save them. And then just win the group. That's all you have to do. Like I said, if you win the group, all you have to do is beat a few other guys, honestly, to be able to win the $100. Because during our last pay-per-view, we only had 9 people compete. So if you guys want to make $100, there are only 9 people competing in this. You can easily win this. I don't always win it. My friends don't always win it. So you guys have a great day and enjoy the fights this weekend. I can't wait. I will be doing a fight companion for this card bright and early. You guys tune in if you want to. I know you won't, but it's okay. Have a great rest of your day, guys, and I'll see y'all for the fights.